Hey folks, it's Eric from Support Adventure, and today I'm going to tell you about how you can get a job at an MSP and some tips and tricks on how to optimize your chances of actually landing that position. So I would say that the first thing that you need to do when you when you apply for a job at an MSP is learn about MSPs, what they are and what they do. I'm actually a little bit guilty of this because I showed up in London in 2011. And basically, I didn't know what MSPs were, and I started applying jobs for them. That they were looking for IT support technicians because I was previously an IT support technician who worked on his own in his solo practice, and homes and businesses. So I knew a bit about Windows servers. I knew lots about the internet, domains and all that stuff. But I didn't really know about the MSP tool set or what MSPs were, their business model, and all that sort of stuff. So you need to know what an MSP is and basically what they do. And I mean, you can find this information online. It's not hard. But basically, the gist of it is there are companies that provide outsourced IT support services to companies. So rather than hiring someone like you to work in an architect's office, the architect's office will hire a company called an MSP to manage their IT, who will then hire you to do their IT. And so it's an added layer of business intelligence and knowledge of the industry, knowledge of tech. And it's a layer that basically works where your company is going to specialize in giving IT support to all sorts of different clients. So you're not just going to be working in one environment. You're going to be constantly jumping from, working for, maybe an architect's office to a lawyer's office to a doctor's office to, a waste removal company. It's all over the board what companies you'll encounter in the MSP space. So know that essentially what MSPs are companies that service other companies, and that your previous experience working as an IT technician in a certain company might be very different to the MSP model, and that as in my case, your previous experience working as a solo IT person serving businesses and homes around the community will be different to an MSP environment, because in the MSP space, there's an impetus on streamlining everything and making things function cohesively through the service desk and all that sort of stuff. But with that being said, most MSPs are started by people like me who had their own sort of iFix Computers business. And their biggest aha moment was when they decided that they wanted to go from having, one-off break fix income, i.e., you're going to call me, I'll come and fix your computer for $50 sort of deals, to I want to have this company signed up to my company and they're going to pay me $500, $1,000 a month to maintain their IT, and it's going to be monthly recurring revenue. So that's the MSP business model, and you need to understand that. Where to find jobs with MSPs? Of course, you can go on job boards in your local region, and now in the remote world, remote job boards that actually have remote opportunities. If you want to find a work from home position, actually you can apply to Support Adventure, because that's what we offer actually. But if you want to, follow the pre-pandemic sort of trend of employment and go into an office every day, look at your local job boards, or search on Google for MSPs in your neighborhood. So you can go on Google. They don't advertise themselves as MSPs very much, because nobody knows what an MSP is outside of the MSP industry. But if you type IT support Toronto, for example, you will see a list of companies that provide outsourced IT support in Toronto, and basically you will be able to go on their website and see if they have opportunities listed there. When I moved to London and I started working with MSPs, and when I wanted to find a remote job with an MSP, what I did is I made a list of all these companies that came up on Google for IT support London. And I emailed them all an introduction letter of myself saying, hi, my name is Eric. I used to run my own IT business in Toronto, Canada. Now I'm in London, or now I'm in Belgrade. I'm looking for a remote opportunity or an in-person, whatever it was. I introduced myself, emphasizing my values of giving quality service and understanding the bridge between people and their technology, which it was a very successful level, very successful letter to a level that you can expect with cold email outreach. I think I emailed about 100 companies and I got 4 or 5 responses and positions and offers based on that. So, you know, some will just reply, yeah, you need to apply through our website. Here's the form, like you would, like we do at Support Adventure, because we have a structure for hiring people. A lot of MSPs won't actually have a structure for hiring people. And if you seem like someone through your intro letter that has decent communication skills, then they will want to talk to you, because you know, lots of people just actually respond to job posts only on job boards, and they have these like stock phrases like "dear sir" or "madam" or "to whom it may concern," which are just so boring when you're looking through 100 of messages which all start that way. Anyways, stand out, focus on uniqueness and how you understand what they need in a technician and what their clients need in service, and you'll probably get an interview. So when you get an interview, to prepare for the interview, learn about the technologies that MSPs use. If it's your first MSP job, you might not know what a ticketing system is, what you're supposed to write in it, how it all works, what workflow rules are. You might not know about IT Glue documentation and other documentation platforms. You might not know what an RMM is and all the beautiful ways that you can use to maintain, you can use an RMM to maintain servers and workstations remotely and control them remotely, and, you know, improve their security and watch, monitor all sorts of aspects of their operations. But you should learn these things. So, you know, ticketing systems, RMM tools, documentation, all of this sort of stuff. If you know what it is, then it's just gonna, you know, different types of firewalls that are used in the industry, the different versions of Windows servers, the latest cloud technologies from Microsoft and other companies. If you know about this stuff and other technicians who are applying don't, you've got a leg up on them. So get to know the stack of the technologies that MSPs use. I listed the major ones, but it's by no means a complete list. So do your research on this, because a lot of the job in the MSP space is actually based on doing your own research and knowing how to do your own research and how to get answers and make solutions for clients based on research that you do on a moment's notice in Google. So you want to highlight this skill by preparing for your interview, by understanding, you know, from their website. Usually MSPs have a bunch of different partnerships with like Cisco, Microsoft, other companies they may deploy the technologies of, and, you know, get to know those technologies. Make a list of questions about these technologies and how they're implemented in that organization, in the MSP, how they benefit their clients by implementing these technologies, and how they as a business profit off of implementing these technologies. If you prepare on this level for going into the interview, you'll be in the top 5% of MSP technician applicants, because most of them just go in kind of like, yeah, I've got experience in IT support. I had that job in, you know, the waste removal company for 5 years, and I, you know, did all their tech. You know, they had like 5 workstations with Windows 2000 or whatever it was, and I learned all that. No, be on the cutting edge of at least what you can discern the MSP that you're applying for is using. And also the next thing is show that you're excited about learning more. You're excited about learning more, because if you think you already know everything about computers, the MSP space will really take you out of your comfort zone really quickly. If you were in a comfort zone in your last job where they're just using, you know, 5 workstations or something, or, you know, one type of technology, one type of printer, one type of anything, and it was all streamlined and you just sat there and did little work, then the MSP space will constantly surprise you, because it's all sorts of different technologies being thrown at you constantly. Similarly, if you were in an environment, for example, as a customer service representative in a company that was just supporting one type of software, and you think, yeah, I'm tech support, but the diversity of the MSP space and having to know networking, having to know like networking, printers, workstations, domains, cloud technologies, email, all that stuff. It's a lot more than a lot of positions in the IT industry demand of their technicians. It's really a lot more. And so you need to be willing to constantly learn new things in the MSP space and focus on conveying your ability to do things and, finding the right answers in terms of Googling things and finding out, using forums, using manufacturer vendor websites and all that stuff, and show that you're the person who, if you don't know it, you can get to know it quickly, because this is the main thing that leads to success in the MSP space.